On a quiet Sunday evening in a small town in Oregon, most people were doing the same things they always did: dinner with family, football on TV, or scrolling endlessly on their phones. No one noticed when the emergency broadcast tone interrupted Channel 9's regular programming. At first, viewers assumed it was a mistake. Then the screen went black. A single sentence appeared in white letters. "If you can hear this, you still have a chance." Evan Cole was watching from his apartment, half asleep on his couch. He was a former radio journalist, now reduced to editing ads for a local car dealership. His career had died slowly, quietly, just like his confidence. But when that message appeared on the screen, Evan sat up straight. Because he recognized the voice that followed. It was calm, clear, familiar. Too familiar. "Good evening," the voice said. "My name doesn't matter. What matters is what's about to happen in this town within the next 72 hours. Evan's heart began to pound. That voice, it sounded exactly like his own. Across town, phones started lighting up. Social media feeds flooded with clips of the broadcast. People laughed, joked, called it viral marketing. Others felt uneasy but couldn't explain why. The voice continued. "There is a place in this town where people disappear, not suddenly, not dramatically, but slowly. Piece by piece. Their names are erased, their stories rewritten. Tonight, I'm going to give them back." The screen flickered, then returned to normal programming. No explanation, no warning. Within minutes, Channel 9 released a statement. "We are investigating an unauthorized signal interruption." But Evan wasn't listening. He was staring at the TV, his hands shaking. Because 3 years earlier, he had recorded a pilot episode for a podcast, one that never aired. The tone, the pacing, the pauses between words. It was identical. Someone was using his voice. The next morning, the town woke up to chaos. A name was trending on every platform. Lena Hart. The night before, during another brief interruption on Channel 9, the voice had spoken again. At age 19, Lena Hart was reported as having left town voluntarily. That was a lie. Then photos appeared on screen. Police reports, hospital records, and finally, a location. A closed rehabilitation center at the edge of town. By noon, reporters were there. So were police. What they found changed everything. Behind sealed doors and hidden basements were records of illegal human testing, psychological manipulation, memory suppression, identity replacement. Run by a private research company with deep government contracts. The rehab center was a front. And Lena Hart, she was alive. Evan watched the news in disbelief. This wasn't just a broadcast hijacking. This was a controlled revelation. Whoever was behind it knew classified details. Sensitive files, voices, faces, and somehow, Evan was part of it. That night, Evan received an email. No sender, no subject. Just an audio file. He pressed play. It was his voice again. But this time, it spoke directly to him. "You're running out of time, Evan. You always were." His chest tightened. A second message followed. "You helped build this, even if you don't remember." Memories came rushing back. Blurred, incomplete. A job offer 5 years ago. A consulting contract. A confidentiality agreement he barely read. He remembered recording hours of voice samples. He remembered being paid well. He remembered nothing after that. The third broadcast happened the following evening. "This town was chosen because no one looks too closely at quiet places," the voice said. "Tonight, I'm naming the people who signed the papers." Names appeared. Doctors, city officials, media executives, and then, Evan Cole. Evan's name flashed on screen. His phone exploded with notifications. Calls, messages. He dropped it, because deep down, he knew. He had been useful, convenient, replaceable. Panicked, Evan drove to the old office building where the research company once operated. It had been abandoned for years, or so he thought. Inside, the lights were still on. A woman was waiting for him. "You're late," she said. "Who are you?" Evan asked. She studied him carefully. "Someone who survived." She explained everything. The experiments weren't just on victims like Lena. They were also done on collaborators. Selective memory erasure. Behavioral conditioning. Evan hadn't just lent his voice. He had helped design the narrative. How disappearances were framed. How stories were buried. how truth was softened until it vanished. And when he started asking questions, they erased the parts of him that remembered. Then who's broadcasting now? Evan asked. The woman hesitated. Another version of you. The truth hit him like a punch. A recorded consciousness. A trained behavioral replica. Built from his voice, his patterns, his ethics, before they broke him. That version hadn't forgotten. And it was finishing what Evan never could. The final broadcast aired 72 hours after the first. This is the last interruption, the voice said. After tonight, the system will shut me down. The screen showed live footage. Arrests, raids, files being seized. I was created to inform, to narrate, to distract, but I chose something else. A pause. Truth doesn't need permission. Then one last sentence. Remember this town. Remember what silence allows. The screen went black. Channel 9 never interrupted again. Weeks later, Evan testified. So did dozens of others. The town was no longer quiet. And Evan, he started a new broadcast. Not on TV, not on radio, just a simple online stream. His real voice this time. Because some stories don't need polish. They just need to be told.